Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm the owner of the Twisted Track Gallery. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out this evening. It's a beautiful second Saturday. I want to say thank you to Stephanie and Debra. They did an incredible job. The way this work complements each other is fantastic. I spent a couple of evenings in here by myself. And wow, I was smiling. It made me feel so good. The work is absolutely beautiful. I want to thank Cynthia Liu, who's usually around the corner right there. Cynthia, can you just give us a wave? Cynthia is one of the curators here. And I also want to thank Stephen Liu. Stephen's the gentleman that hangs all the art for us. And boy, the way he brought this together.
Oh my gosh.
Our other curator of the gallery is Lisa Hayden, and I'm going to pass it off to her, and she will introduce you to the artists. Once again, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Matt. And thanks to all of you for coming out tonight. I know it's very warm, but it is a beautiful evening, and we have two fabulous artists here, as you can see from the work on the wall, and they are each going to tell you something about their art and answer your questions. Okay, thanks so much. Stephanie.
Okay, well, thanks for coming out, everybody. I know it seems like every time I've had a show here, it's been really hot. Something about the heat and the art. Yeah, huh? Anyway, I really don't know where to start or what to say because I'm not even really sure how to explain this. But I've always loved cut and paste. I loved paper dolls when I was a kid, and my favorite part of the paper dolls was cutting them out. Not as much playing with them, but the cutting them out very precisely. And so when I was looking to try my hand at some art and playing around, the cutting and the pasting just came back to me. And I call these my paper dolls. I use magazines. Somebody asked me a question. These are real magazines that I hand cut and then glue them back together. They're not digitalized or photoshopped or anything like that. I have some very tiny little fabulous scissors that I use to cut them very obsessively. I think my controlling OCD comes through really clearly here. I don't know what I'm doing when I do it. I don't have a vision like I'm gonna make a woman whose face is peeling off. I start with a piece that intrigues me. For that, it was the piece that's peeling, the face peeling, and then I look for other things that might go with it. It takes a long time. It takes months sometimes for the image to reveal itself or for the paper doll to be born. It's kind of painful and unpleasant at first, and then once a few pieces come together, there's a flow, and it's like, oh, I see where this is going. But it surprises me every time. Every single one of these, I had no idea, except for Harrison Ford came together really quickly one day. I wasn't even trying to do any art, but I was sitting at my dining room table reading, and I got a magazine in the mail, and I got some other things, and I started cutting stuff up, and he got born really quickly. But I change them a lot until something clicks, and then it starts to form, and then they're here. And I never like them at first. I have to walk away and let them sort of settle into themselves, and then come back and revisit them. And then I see them for the first time like, wow, that's so cool. I was talking to Tiffany, I don't know where Tiffany is, but tonight about mouths. I always hated my mouth when I was growing up. It was too big for me and I didn't like it, but I grew into it and I like it. And most of my pieces have a prominent mouth. Most of them have lips. They're all kissed on the back by me. And I think mouths are just really important for speaking your truth, for using your voice, for communicating. And so in talking to Tiffany, we kind of got it, and I went, oh yeah, I think I'll bring that up tonight. So the mouth is a common theme for me in all my, and a lot of hands. Somebody asked me last Friday about what's the meaning of all the arms and hands. I don't know what the meaning of any of this is, but I think it's about holding, about touching, about holding, about grasping, and all the things we do with our hands and arms is everything. So, any questions? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I have trays and trays and trays of cutout pieces that are themed, like mouths and hands and arms, and then they're also in sizes, so like big hands and small hands, and they're stacked up, and I have magazines everywhere, little pieces everywhere, and it's really out of control. I look at it a lot and I think, how could I do this better? I don't know, because I need to shuffle them around. They can't be in folders, they get crunched up, but I just have stacks and stacks of trays. And once I went away on a long vacation, and when I came back, I don't know why, there was no one there, but all the trays fell off the table and fell on the floor. And I had to resort everything. It was like, I don't know, a ghost. There was no wind. The house was all locked up. I have no pets, but when I came home, everything was on the floor mixed together. So, yeah, that's ice storm. Okay, Deborah.
There's a
Yeah.
question.
So with magazines and things going online so much, where do you find magazines now?
Well, I have some subscriptions, and I get magazines from friends. Joe and Paula. Joe and Paula just gave me a big box of magazines. I pick up catalogs. I pick up Edible magazine. Those free magazines you see about it, like a vacation place or Edible. I subscribe to a few. People give me. There's a lot of magazines. They're very expensive now, but because I subscribe, I keep getting these things like subscribe for another year for $5. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I keep thinking I'm going to stop, but then I keep subscribing but I'd love to get, if anybody has old fashioned magazines, like some 60s and 70s fashion magazines. My godson, a cute story, and then I'm turning it over to Deborah, but my godson, who's 30 something now, called me last year and he said, I'm cleaning out all my stuff and I have a whole bunch of cutout from Playboy magazine. He's an artist. And he said, I cut out all these images from Playboy, all this nude, and I'm really never going to use it, but I see you having a blue period. So I want to give you all of this and I want you to do something with it. So I'm like, great. My godson's giving me porn to do. I haven't done anything yet, but stay tuned. Maybe that'll be my next thing. Anyway, thank you. Okay.
Great job, man.
One of the commonalities of Stephanie and me is we both love playing with dolls. When I was little, Barbie was my friend. I had Barbie and Midge, and I was always dressing her and making up stories, and apparently I'm still doing that. So people ask me how I got started in this, and if you look over there behind Paula and Joe, that's Marie Antoinette on the pedestal. She's one of the first sculptures I ever made, and you notice she doesn't have any legs. She was way too top heavy for that, but that's how I started. And then I took a class. I've taken a lot of art classes at the community college, and I took a three-dimensional sculpture class. And Terry Peterson taught me a lot about assembling things. And that's when I got the idea that I could put legs on things. And so that's how they got legs. And then they needed shoes, right? And so I would add shoes. So what I did tonight is I brought, this is what I go through. This is an assemblage that is not quite done. You can see she's got her legs and she's got her shoes. And I'm going to leave this here. If you want to take a look at it, you're welcome to. And she's going to have this triple layered skirt. See, these are tart tins. And so she's going to have a triple layered skirt. And it's going to look something like that. And then her head. And I need another hand. So in her head, and this is her hat. And I found in a thrift store, I found a bracelet that had 8 of these links on it. And I thought it looks like a purse. So there it is. I've got a purse. And cocktail forks. Those are her arms. So that's kind of how a girl comes together, and a guy. That happens a lot in my studio. And I, like Stephanie, I've got, we joke, I have a lot of body parts in my garage. My studio is in my garage, it's a 2-car garage. We don't put cars in it anymore. So I have to be, oh, there's 4 of them. They have to be really organized. So I'll have a box with little shoes and a box with big shoes and a box with arms and a box with legs. And thank God for Costco, because their strawberry boxes, I must have 30 of them in my garage with different things sorted. So it's a process, but it's an auditioning process. And people would ask me, what are you working on now? And I would say, oh, these girls were talking. They just wouldn't stop. They were fighting. I want those shoes. No, I want that purse. And so I would just make up these stories in my head. And then I thought, well, why not write the stories? And so I thought, okay, so that's how the Story People started. And you'll see in several of them, wings and crowns. I think every woman needs to have a crown. And the wings are an homage to my mother. So I brought, this is the one commonality in all of these sculptures, and every one I've ever made, is they all have gourd heads. And thank God for my enabler, Sylvia. She has grown every single one of these gourds. And I go down to her place a couple of times a year and I buy heads. And I brought this so you could see what these are like when they are, you're gonna look at this and say, how does it get to that? Well, it's a lot of work, it's elbow grease. But I'm gonna leave everything here. And I'm going to, and please come and feel free to take a look, and you can see her legs are chopsticks. I'm going to ask you to think about who she is and tell me, because she hasn't told me yet. I'm looking for her story. So if you have an idea, please tell me. Any questions?
Tell them about the book.
My shameless promoter. It's been suggested to me that I do a book of my Story People, and if you'll notice at the bottom of each story, it tells you what to look for in that particular sculpture. And so it kind of draws you in, and you could use it even with children and say, do you see the cocktail forks? Oh, what are cocktail forks? Oh, do you see chopsticks? How do you use chopsticks? You know, it could be a very interesting and productive discussion. But so I'm researching publishing now. And if anyone else has any suggestions, I'm open to them. Anything else? Okay.
Where do you get the bodies themselves?
My husband and I have driven across the country 4 times, and Google is great for telling you what thrift stores are near you, what antique stores are near you. And so Abilene, Kansas, believe it or not, we've been there several times going through there, and there's several antique stores that we go to, and that's where I found a lot of stuff. But we're headed to New York next week to visit our son, and so while I'm there, we joke, let's go look for body parts. And my husband is my wingman, and he is my main source. So he'll be out looking at things, and he'll see stuff, and he'll send me a picture. Do you need this? Can you use this? And so basically, I mean, and I joke, friends don't leave me alone in their kitchens. So that's where they come from. just around. So, thank you.